Yeah, because
Like-
bars are too small to have pool tables now.
Why don't they just create more room around the pool table?
I
It's always
agree.
like, excuse me, miss.
Yeah. There's 9 deep at the bar, but I decided to play pool. Oh, sure. And then there's 100,000 people at the bar. Hey, you want to go play darts while there's people standing right now? That's not a good idea
Wait,
either.
guys, why is it called pool? Why
I
is
believe
it
it's called billiards.
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 Bulliards?
It's a bouillon
Gold
soup.
bouillon?
Oh, so that's a billiards room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is a room where a pool table is.
I don't know where
Correct.
pool came from.
I think we just decided to say F England. They invented this game.
It looks like a
Or
green pool.
snooker. Yeah, a green pool. We're going to take it. We're going to call it pool. 'Cause we don't want anything about England. After the Revolutionary War, we're like, no more snooker. It's now pool.
We're going to
We
take
hate
that,
ya.
and we're going to take French fries.
Take
And that's
that.
ours now.
And though we do secretly think all your shows are better than ours. Okay.
1,000% thank you for The Office and
Yeah.
Love Island, and I don't know, I'm sure
Ooh,
there's
Love
other
Island.
ones out
Didn't
there.
even think about it. Ika Gashaiva, the Hawaiian hunk, the great hunkino. You got something.
It's because people that bet, they lose money, so they have to go to loan sharks.
Oh, it's Shark Week.
Oh my God! Sound effects, guys. This is so fun. Do I have to sort of bend? I'm trying to decide what my posture.
I'm a big
is.
leaner.
These are
But you're the
definitely-
first woman to come in here and actually speak into the microphone?
Well, I was gonna say. Well, you guys know.
Or 99% of guests, really. I didn't mean to throw all the other ladies, but most, except Sinead. Sinead actually does get close-ish to the mic.
yeah,
podcast
Sinead's
mics.
amazing. I haven't
She's
seen
the
her in
best.
so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate when people are like this because then the audio is just the worst.
But again, that's, don't get me on my headphone rant.
Do you want to work here?
Let me come. I'm just gonna do this. 'cause
Headphones are the tool to let you hear the show and make
Correct.
adjustments as needed.
Yes. Yep.
Ken, I'm so happy to be in your presence.
Oh, really? It's been a bit.
Yes.
I missed my time over at the Tomatoes, that episode of we did about Mando.
The
It was
Mando.
good. It was
Are
good
you?
fun.
I just had to say your book is incredible.
Oh,
Speaking of
thank you.
Mando, you
And
got
it-
a little Mando here.
I love it, and it made me feel. I'm a prequelist. I was
Yeah.
born in 1990.
God bless you.
Thank you. I was born in 82 and I'm a prequelist.
Oh wait, you are?
Yeah.
Wait, that's so cool.
I
I mean, he
didn't-
doesn't know anything from anything, but I love that purity. Like, he'll just be like, what's the one with the thing?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, that's Phantom Menace. She's like, I love that.
That one.
So
That's great.
Josh, I love Star Wars, but I love the prequels.
Yeah.
And so I'm always really insecure, especially in the spaces I work in, because I feel like I come across a lot of people that just know everything. You know, they know the canon.
Yeah, it's
they know all the
intimidating.
characters, and it's intimidating. And so whenever I say, you know, I loved Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones. Like, it's always, I always feel insecure. I always feel like people don't take me seriously as a Star Wars fan. Even though George Lucas like made these. Anyways, when
Do you
I
know
met,
him? Are you related to George Lucas?
no, long story long, Ken made me feel, that'd be so amazing though. Long story long, Ken made me feel really less insecure about it. And I told him I love the prequels, and he was like, oh, you're a prequelist. And I was like, oh, there's a label. So,
I created it.
Yeah.
so yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah,
Thank
Ken-
you for that confidence in life.
No, it's great. I love it.
And Jar Jar Binks for life.
Ahmed and Jar Jar for life, man.
We wanted to name our boat the Jar Jar Sinks.
What? That's
Yeah.
sick.
Right?
Wait, what? So what'd you end up naming it?
I don't have a boat. we never have a
We
boat.
wanted
have
to
a
name
boat.
our boat. You
Well,
know,
like our dream is to have a boat in the middle of like Mammoth Lakes and nobody talks
Yeah.
to us.
isn't it funny how we all fantasize like what our lives will be, and we all just get older and we all come up with things?
Yeah.
When I have this, so when I have a large dog, I'm gonna name him Reptar.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
And I like can't wait for that moment. Hopefully it happens. Is that good, Ken?
I love that. That's
Yeah.
a good name. I don't mind. You could go Chuck or Reptar.
Yeah.
I'm happy with
Yeah,
either
I
one.
just feel like Reptar epitomized and symbolized just like the most fun for the Rugrats. You know
I think
Yeah.
Reptar's great. I want to name my dog Bucket.
why?
Bucket.
Well, so here's the thing. We had this. I went to college, and a
Explain more.
guy dated this girl, and she got a dog, and they broke up, and then she left, but she left the dog at our fraternity, right?
What?
And yeah, and this girl was the worst. Okay?
Oh my God.
Awful. And it was this amazing little beagle, and he was like the sweetest thing, and destroyed everything, right?
Yeah.
So I would, excuse my language, I would come on, here comes fuck it up bucket, and he would like run in, and the dog's name was like Jeremy or something, like the girl named it. But
Wait, what? That's the worst human name to give a dog. I met a
awful.
dog named Mark the other day, and I was like, that's not a human dog name.
No,
That's
no.
weird.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there.
Yeah.
And
Jeremy's even worse.
Jeremy's terrible. And we all hated the name Jeremy, right? And the guy was like still hung up on this girl.
Yeah.
Well, she came back a year later and we had named him Bucket. Like his name was now Bucket.
name's Bucket.
And so she was like, Jeremy, come here. And he wouldn't answer. I was like, Bucket. And he was like, and he came over. I was like, gotcha. Yes. And his name is Bucket from now on. And then I never saw that dog again because she took him back. Like,
What?
it was the worst.
How many months later?
A solid year later.
That's traumatizing
awful.
for Bucket.
I know.
Wow.
And Bucket would like hang out and drink beer like during parties. It was the worst, most best dog ever. Like he destroyed everything, but he was an amazing
But also, a fraternity house is not a place where a dog can thrive.
Correct. No.
Did anyone walk the dog?
Yeah, all the time. There
Oh,
was
well,
somebody
that's
that
good.
walked the dog, or the dog just ran around the yard. We had this giant yard. He just ran around the yard.
Oh,
He
wow,
could
you guys
catch
had a yard?
football.
Wow, you're rich, Josh. What fraternity were you in? At what school?
SAE at Penn State.
Oh, I didn't realize when you guys invited me to come on, I didn't realize that I was going to be sitting next to an SAE from Penn State.
Right.
Ken.
Yeah.
Kind of a big
Wow.
deal.
Yeah,
guys.
We were
Kind of a
waiting
big
for the
deal.
indictments to come.
We were only kicked off campus twice in my 4.5 years
Oh my
there.
God,
so no
Josh,
big
it's
deal.
terrible.
I know, it wasn't great.
Do you ever do your secret handshake or?
Do you want to see my secret?
Yeah,
handshake?
can you show it to us?
Yeah. I'm
Are
not
you
gonna do
allowed
it.
to?
I'm not going to do it on
He's not
camera.
going to do it on
Okay.
camera. What is he? Going to get kicked out?
Okay,
That's
can I
it.
show you mine?
Okay.
Okay. No. It was...
What?
I don't. Well, if you don't know how to do it, I can't do it with you.
Is it like one of those
It's
tap
a 2
ones?
people thing. No,
where
it's
was
not a tap.
Where was yours from?
Yeah, what are you?
I'm a Zeta Tau Alpha
Yeah,
at
ZTA.
University of Central Florida.
Whoa, Black
Ken-
Knights.
Yes, Golden Knights.
Golden Knights.
You might think this is interesting, and you, but I was told, and I would fact check this because I don't know if this is real, but I was
Yeah.
told in college when I joined the sorority that the Little Mermaid was like made by a Zeta,
Whoa.
the animated,
Okay.
and a
I
lot
could do
of
some research.
our secrets
Yeah.
and things are in
In.
the film. So the signature that Triton does
Right.
is like our sorority.
Which one
signature,
has
I
the puff
think.
of smoke that's a penis?
That's,
I forgot about that.
I thought that it was like a sandcastle in the background that looked like a large
There's a lot of
donger.
those, right?
Yeah.
I was really traumatized when that came. Remember that came out? Everyone was talking about it. Everyone's like, "Did you know there's secret penises and like multiple,
Yeah.
Disney animated things?" And I was like, "No, there isn't." And then I looked and I was like, "Oh my God, there is."
Yeah, because it was made by like frat dudes and sorority girls. No,
SAEs from Penn
SAEs
State.
and Zetas. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Thank you all for joining us here on the Positivity Report. We're here every single weekday, Monday through Friday. This is Naz Perez, first time guest on the show. We've been trying to do this for 3.5 or so months.
I know. I'm so sorry.
No,
I
don't
apologize.
never apologize. You're a busy young woman out there making moves. Okay, doing your thing.
I'm just, as Kourtney
Loving the
Kardashian
prequels.
says, I'm just living life.
Okay,
Just living life.
I listen. Of the Kardashians, she's my favorite.
Let me ask you this
Same.
question.
Yeah.
Naz, not Nas.
Thanks, Ken.
Nasty Naz.
Like the band,
Yeah.
Naz.
Or NASDAQ. I get that.
Or
a
the
lot.
Nasdaq.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
How many times do you just get in a Jeep and go to the woods?
Wait, how do you know this about me?
Because
I
you
follow
post
you on
about it all
Instagram.
the time.
Wait, that's amazing.
Follow you on I see it. I scroll along. Dog, this, Macuga. Naz is camping again.
It's so true.
Yeah.
You're like, look at these stars in my Jeep.
I love Nature Naz is a part of me that
okay.
it's a very
Nasty by nature.
big, it's a very
great band.
big part of me. Oh,
Okay.
that's a band.
Well, it's two guys, but they play like,
Oh.
it's beats, but they play the
Wow.
instruments.
Do you know Nazareth is a band, which is my full name?
Yeah, of course
Yeah.
do I know
Oh,
Nazareth.
I didn't know that.
I'm from Pittsburgh. It's like the number 4 band there right now.
Really?
We love our
Whoa,
classic
well,
rock.
hey Nazareth, if you guys are watching, I'm down to be the mascot or open up a show one day.
Let's
I
go.
I try and go a lot. That's one of my favorite parts about living in LA.
Yeah.
Whenever I meet, I'm from South Florida, so
Right.
a lot of people in my life went to New York.
Yeah.
I went to Los Angeles. I love nature. I need nature. And
New York does not
of
have it.
course, we always get into the New York versus LA debate.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite debates ever
Okay.
because I think one of the best parts of living in LA is that in a day, I can go to Vegas, San Diego, Mexico, Big Sur, Santa Barbara,
Right.
literally Yosemite. Like
Yeah.
the world is your oyster.
Correct.
And it's just nature porn.
And you can get oysters in most of those places.
Oh, really?
I love a good
Oh,
oyster.
so good. I love a good oyster too.
Oof, Santa Barbara has some good oysters.
They do. They have good sea urchins.
They do.
A lot of them come from there.
I know.
So to
My
answer
wife
your
is from
question,
the Big Sur area.
oh really?
so I love
That's
it.
my favorite place in the entire world.
amazing.
Have you guys heard of Esalen?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eslen's like my favorite place
Yeah,
in the
of
whole
course.
world. That's
Have you
where
ever been to the big River Inn in Big Sur?
No. Oh yes, I have. But yeah, it's so cool. The
You can
dining
sit,
area.
And you can sit on chairs in the creek.
It's so cool.
So
I didn't know
cool.
you could
Yeah,
do that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
sick. So I go a lot, Ken, especially in this last crazy year that we just had. I was like, I have a Wrangler. Like I could sleep in it if I need to, but I'm just gonna go.
Do it.
You
Okay.
know? Yeah.
You seem
often.
South Florida, Naz. I would put you in a Wrangler. Like
Yeah?
you would be that girl that would intimidate both the shit out of me and Ken in high school. Like you'd pull up in your Wrangler, like you'd probably be playing like
The
Aqua.
world is a vampire.
Really, I like to pull up with "Man-Eater" by Hall & Oates. 'Cause I like to not be intimidating at all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, well, you and I though we share love of the traveling Wilburys.
yeah. Oh my God, they're so
I remember,
good.
good.
Your dad sat you down and said,
Yes.
"It's Wilburys. Listen,
Ken,
right?"
you're the. What's that song?
Because
that,
anytime someone talks about the Wilburys, I just go do Wilbury fan, Wilbury fan.
can you tell everyone who they are? Because it's just this massive
It's a
mix
supergroup.
of. It's a super group. It's the Monstars.
Yeah.
of music.
Yeah.
If you like that kind of music.
George Harrison looking to record a song with Jeff Lynne, who was producing the album. Let's go over to Dylan's studio. Dylan's there. Tom Petty's hanging out. Let's call up Roy Orbison. Let's do a song.
Yeah.
Record company says, that's great. Do more.
Yeah.
They have an album.
Boom.
Traveling Wilburys, Volume 1.
It's unbelievable.
We were hoping for a volume 2 and never got it.
They went
I know.
to-
Why
went
did they
straight to
break
3.
up?
Oh, well, Orbison passed away at the end of the first album.
Right.
There's rumors that Del Shannon was going to join. Turns out that was never true, I guess. And then it just kind of, they had their own careers to get back to.
Right. It makes me so sad. Oh, it was so good.
You
Thanks
know-
for bringing that up. I love
So when we
Traveling
were building
Wilburys.
this place,
Yeah.
like building this out, we consistently listened to like 80s and 90s rock per se, and then like the Core's Breathless would
Yes.
come on every
Also,
now and
John
then.
Mayer's 90s rock album's coming out Friday, just so everyone
He's doing a
knows.
90s rock album?
I mean, it's called like soft rock. That's how he's marketing it anyway.
Incredible.
You're going to love.
And I live for yacht rock. Like yacht rock is my favorite genre.
What is
You know.
yacht rock?
Yacht rock would be late 70s, early 80s easy listening.
Wait, so that's
So like
that's
Hall
what
&
I
Oates,
love. I never knew what the name
Yeah,
was.
yacht rock. So like Hall & Oates, Christopher Cross, Kenny
Okay.
Loggins. My favorite is Jay Ferguson's Thunder Island.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God,
like,
Christopher Cross's song from Arthur is like my
Yeah.
favorite song ever.
Theme from Arthur?
theme from Arthur.
The theme from Arthur, or I believe it's called Arthur's Theme. But I
Arthur's
kind
Theme,
of
yeah.
wanted to get a tattoo that said,
When you get lost.
When you get lost between the moon and New York City. Wait, guys, are we best friends?
We are
I
now
have no
best
friends that like this.
Come in and be part of it.
Wait,
Yes.
see, so yacht rock.
So yacht rock. So I introduced Ken to yacht rock. He didn't know what it was either.
Yeah.
I
mean, it was one of those
introduced.
things where it's like, oh, that's what those
That's what yacht
songs are
rock
called.
Yeah,
is.
that's the moment I just had.
Yes. You'll love it. There's a band that I have seen live, and
Yeah.
I can't wait to see them live again. They're called Yachtly Crew,
Yachtly Crew.
and they do
like
all
Motley Crue.
like Motley Crue, but they dress like sailor or like boat captains.
Stop.
They used to play the Viper Room every Friday, which was
Stop.
amazing.
Wait, can we all go?
George Benson, yes, 100%.
Are they like up and running now?
I don't know. I'll reach out to Philly D, their lead singer, because they're fantastic. I've seen another yacht rock
amazing.
cover band at the Palate. No, what's the one on Wilshire by the Wiltern?
By the Wiltern?
Sort of by the Wiltern. It's like down there. Maybe it was the Wiltern.
There's the Denny's.
I don't know. Yeah, the Denny's is right next door, and then there's nothing else,
Party
like
Center.
music-wise out there.
El Rey. The El Rey?
There's a lot of Korean. Oh, the El Rey's more on. It's mid Wilshire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the
yeah,
El Rey.
Yeah.
So
But there's
yacht rock-
awesome Korean spas out there.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
My boy frequents, loves those.
Yeah.
No, I forget what the name of that one was. It was another pun, and they were fantastic. It was like
Whoa.
a 13-piece band because you need horns for George Benson.
Yeah.
You
Oh my
need
God.
you need the sax, for Baker Street, and so. I mean, there are some amazing yacht rock cover bands. I don't know how that music just became like the soul of my life. Now,
It's a good introspect.
it is
you know,
because I listen to it all the time to the point where my brother's like, "Get new music."
Did
And I'm
your
like, "No, I'm
parents
good."
listen to it?
Yeah.
Do you guys believe, because that music really brings me to life, and my father always played the Hollies, this band called Garbage.
Yeah, garbage.
I don't,
Called
of course.
right? So,
My first week in radio was when their single Queer dropped.
Yeah,
whoa,
A new band.
And
Butch Vig.
Garbage.
whoa,
Steve Marker, Duke Erickson.
yeah.
that's so cool. Ken, you know so much. I love it.
I don't.
He's a musical encyclopedia.
I
He
know
is.
like 4 things.
No,
well.
it's super
One of them is
awesome.
sandwiches.
Oh, what's the best sandwich in LA?
Best sandwich in LA. I'm gonna have to say a chain restaurant. Go to Jersey Mike's, number 7.
Yeah,
No
Mike's
way.
way.
You can't say Jersey Mike's.
Yeah.
When you have Uncle Polly's, I just heard of Philippe's.
But
Oh,
In-
Philippe-
on
well,
the
just
east side.
enough Philippe's?
well,
No,
Philippe's,
I've-
that's
yeah, I
a Dodger
never knew
Stadium
about-
tradition.
It is,
It's
it is.
great. Yes. But there's a great place down the street. It's like a mom and pop. You go in there, they treat you so bad. I want
But that,
corporate
that
standards.
means it's
I want
good.
corporate standards.
It's like
Yeah.
New York. But anyways, I wanted to ask you guys because I'm one of the only people in my circle that loves this kind of music. But I love a lot of kinds of music. But like you were saying, I rather listen to it than listen to new music. Do you think
somebody needs to introduce me to the new music for me to like it? Because right now my favorite band is a YouTube cover band called the Hindley Street Country Club, and they play yacht rock, and they're from
amazing.
Adelaide, Australia.
Well, do you like new music that sounds like old music, like Leon Bridges?
Correct.
Like
Love
Leon
amazing,
Bridges.
right?
I'm a big fan of Haim.
Yeah,
Yes,
Haim's good.
exactly.
One of the best. The Marias are good coming on my
The
radar.
Marias are absolutely incredible. There's this woman named Ambar Lucid. She's Dominican. I'm Dominican, and I'm obsessed with her too. But I wanted to ask you guys: do you think, not to get like too existential here, but to get existential?
Yeah, let's existential.
Do you think
it up.
do you think I like that music? I often wonder, do I love this music because like my past life, like my soul is from that time period?
Yeah. Because I always
do
say
you guys
that.
get what I'm trying to ask?
I get what you're trying to ask.
Totally.
I don't have an answer for that. What, Aaron, you think you were born in the 70s in L.A. with
I
Jackson
think,
Brown?
I think
in the 70s.
70s in LA for sure. Like mamas and papas,
Sure.
and
Okay.
I just think like when new music comes out, everyone around me is like, I love this song, it's amazing, and I'm like, I don't resonate with it.
Yeah, I get you.
I think it's like bad.
We all have to find the.
But there's but I love, let me just clarify. There's people like Billie Eilish, who transcends generations, and I'm like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Different.
Yeah.
It's a.
Everyone's like,
Well, here's the thing. When somebody says go back in time, and we've talked about this, Ken. When somebody says when you can go back in time to any time in the world, I want to be a 1980s frat guy at Penn State. Like 1982, 83, 84, 85.
Why?
All that music. Everybody was like just getting into Van Halen.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. You could drink 150 kegs in a weekend and nobody even like judged you, right? Like everybody was just living the dream. High shorts, like running around, like drinking out of pitchers. Everybody's like, oh, it's the 80s. This is the shit. No, like all the girls had the same haircut. All the dudes were like mustache. Let's fucking rock.
That worked out well. That ended well.
I do.
Didn't end well. I didn't say I wanted to live, then go to be like 50 in like 1997 and be like, I shouldn't have partied so hard in the 80s. I mean, that's like, I'm
have
Marty
a journal
McFly.
like Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
It's just great. No, I get it's one of those things. I think we all have to find the songs in the key of our soul, and I think you find it and you hit it, and you know it.
Yeah.
You find it, you hit it. It is. It's one of the few things in life that is so gut and instinctual.
Yeah.
Because I've been finding lately in life, it's kind of hard for me to make a decision. I think sometimes that I have a gut feeling, and then I'm like, oh, but what about this? And what about this? And then I'll ask a million friends. And music's one of those things in my life where I'm like, yep, I like this. Nope. I don't like this. Not my favorite. And I'm like, why is it so? It has to be a part of my soul in some way.
You find the meanings
You know
there.
what I mean?
I'm also laughing because I'm just picturing Josh in a rolled up blue neon jacket, just dancing.
Oh,
at
crushing.
Club 54.
My first.
Studio 54.
Studio
Studio
54
Oh, I
is
would have
like
destroyed.
I would have been Bianca Jagger on the white horse on my birthday, and I
could see that.
actually was gonna have my 30th birthday at Oil Can Harry's in Studio City. It was called
great.
Studio 30.
Yeah.
It never happened because my birthday's March 24th, and the pandemic hit. But I had rented like a balloon company. I rented half of Oil Can Harry's. I was
great.
gonna have a horse potentially there. Because that is
Ken
just
could have brought his helmet.
that's
I've
my
been
dream.
I've been there. A lot of fun, good karaoke upstairs.
It's the best, but now it didn't make it.
But here it wasn't called Studio 50. You can do Studio 31.
It was called Studio 54. My birthday was called Studio 30.
I know, but I'm saying like it wasn't called. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be an even number. You could go Studio
But
32.
it closed. It
Oh,
closed,
it's
and there
done.
aren't
Damn.
places that play that type of music
Damn.
now.
Well, now that you're our friend,
yeah.
Yeah.
I can reach out to Philly at Yachtly Crew, who, thanks to our chat, that's why I love the chat. Thank you all. You can super chat. You can go to streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. You can join the website, the GPA.fun. Kev Rowe chimes in the 6th of September, Yachtly Crew live at LA Fleet Week, Los Angeles, California.
Wait, that's like on a boat then.
I
Right?
Well,
think so.
Kev Rowe, that's Kevin. He's
That's Kevin
the
Ross.
actual owner of the SS
Jar
Jar
Jar Sinks.
He has a boat. And he's
Boom.
Wait, what, Kev? Let's get that boat invite.
It was either that or
Andy
what was,
Samberg. I'm on a boat.
what was our other one? David Lee Hoth.
David Lee Hoth.
Ooh, that's such a good name.
Yeah, it's pretty
All
You have
boat
such good
pump.
boat names.
Well,
Josh
I
is a
hope
good
you have a boat one day.
boat punter.
Yeah, I kind of live in a punderdome. if
Do you
will,
like
Lars.
puns?
Punderdome.
Live for them.
Punderdome.
You'd be you'd be an excellent producer on The Bachelor.
Yeah. I see that. I feel that. I mean, one of the categories
know
on
the
Josh Jeopardy
connection,
every
but-
Friday.
Because I have a friend who we used to work there together. His name's Adam Mansfield. Shout out to Adam.
Adam,
And he
what
was
up?
really good at puns. And sometimes if you guys watch like Bachelor in Paradise and you watch cast members' interviews, you know, they'll be like, it's a beach or whatever. I'm so terrible at puns, but I feel like that's why I think that's the connection, Ken.
Ken.
I think you'd be good at it.
I mean, listen, we got to get you in for a Jeopardy. Okay, it's the fastest game show on the
Oh,
internet.
that'd be great.
It's the fastest game show on the internet. I think you'd be perfect for it
Okay.
because it's either or questions, and half the questions are actual trivia, and half the questions are based on
Can
my
we
opinion.
play now?
Sure, let's do it. We'll do a quick. We'll do a quick round.
I love how yes Andy you guys are.
Yeah.
The way of life.
here
Way
we
of
go.
life.
Just living life like Courtney.
Let's get a punderdome in here. What do you think, Ken?
Yeah, is she competing against
You.
Punderdome.
You don't want to compete. I'm going to think every pun is a meh.
Yeah, that's true. Ken does not like my puns.
But I have to think about the answers are about what Josh thinks, not about what you
Yes.
think.
No pun stuff. I'm terrible at pun
No,
stuff.
no. You have to say, do you like it? Do you say okay or no? Meh.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay or no? Meh.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, here we go.
All
I'm so
all
excited.
here
I'm
we go.
scared.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
The punderdome. Okay.
Okay.
Someone overshares on social media, they would be called. Oh, these are for Steve and Mike. Hold on. Hold on. These are for Steve Zaragoza and Mike Falzone. Okay, we'll do the ones from last week. These are dog breeds. Okay,
Oh.
these are dog breeds.
Oh, I love
Here
dogs.
we go.
Okay,
Here we go.
great.
All right. And here we go. All the spots look like Gail King. You have a Gailmation. Like a Dalmatian, but a Gailmation.
Dalmatian. Wait, I don't
You
understand.
say okay or meh.
Meh.
Okay. All right.
Does Gail have spots? I'm confused.
No, it's like a combination. It's a dog. Okay,
Ken, what was
maybe
your
you'll get
thought
this
on
one.
that one?
Here we go. Ken is always
Sorry,
a meh.
yeah, I'm also handling. Yeah, go.
Got it. Okay.
I'm in the middle of loading 276 Game of Thrones episodes to our new podcast feed, and it's driving. I've just literally been doing this for 24 hours.
Yeah, Ken's gonna break his computer in half. All right, are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
It's the perfect dog for an auto mechanic. It's a wrench bulldog. Like a
No,
French bulldog.
no.
Okay. It's the security dog at Disney World. It's an Epcot Weiler.
That's amazing.
Okay, she likes that one.
Epcot Weiler.
Okay.
That sounds so cool. It's like, what do you have? This is Jeremy. He's an Epcot Weiler.
Right.
Share.
There you go. I love that.
It's half pig, half dog. It's a Porkshire Terrier.
Yorkshire Terrier is amazing.
Get it?
That's good. That's
All right.
good.
She loves Icelandic music. She's a Borkshire Terrier.
No.
Oh, we got a good reaction. Okay.
Icelandic reminds me of water bottles.
Okay. It's an inquisitive dog. It's a Wiberian Husky.
That's
See?
the best one.
It's complete opposite
That's
from last
the best
week.
one.
Okay, how about this one?
Iberian Husky.
It's a dog that loves the biblioteca. It's a Chihuahua.
Yeah.
You like that? She
Yeah.
likes that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't love it, but I like it.
He's the coolest dog at the frat. He's the Brodesian Ridgeback.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's trying too hard.
Okay. Unlike all his brothers and sisters, this one doesn't go nuts. It's a Pomeranian.
Amazing.
Okay, she likes that
I
one.
love that.
They're
Every girl on Instagram would own a Pomeranian, right? Like I wouldn't, but that would hit.
You want a big dog.
That dog slaps.
If
I
you
want a
go
big
up-
dog.
If you go up to the Carmel Valley, you can see my mother-in-law's two big dogs. She's got a Great Pyrenees and a Great Dane.
Wait, you have like so. Wait, where is Carmel Valley?
Just south of Big Sur.
Yeah,
Just south of Big Sur.
Carmel, right?
Yeah, Carmel.
Okay,
So the
you
Carmel
said
by the
Carmel
Sea-
Valley, so I was confused.
So Carmel by the Sea and then
Carmel
Carmel
by
Valley is the inland, just like
Wow, you
LA.
are rich.
I'm not rich.
Are you kidding? You go up there and it's like, oh,
It's
no
pretty
wonder
perfect.
Reese
Ken's been
Witherspoon
there.
made Big Little Lies happen here.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Who would not want to live there? I
Well,
love Carmel.
That's our eventual goal: is retire to the Carmel
Really?
Valley.
and then do this from there.
Yeah.
Open up some
Yeah, and own a
artisan.
Pomeranian.
Well, I want to go to Big Bear and just live up there on the mountains.
Same.
My fiance won't follow me, but we'll work that
I'll,
out. But
Ken, maybe we can work out some situation.
we'll get
Maybe
up there.
you and I can, because I
Yeah.
want a cabin in Arrowhead and
Ooh.
Big Burr. Big Burr.
yeah,
Burr.
but my great aunt and uncle lived in
Big Burr.
Green Valley Lake for like 30 years, and so we go there. We love it
Gorgeous.
up there. But Josh will be in Carmel,
Mhm.
eating that Danish I love up there.
Yep.
That cherry Danish,
We could run a Danish
Cherry
shop.
Danish.
and an artisan sweater shop.
Yes, correct. And I want to run the only late night food truck in Carmel by the Sea because when I was there for my wedding,
Yeah.
there was no food.
You got
late night.
married there?
Yeah. This is my wife is from. She was born and raised. She went
That's
to Carmel
incredible.
High School.
I
Carmel
need
by
to
the Sea.
meet her.
She's
Let me get
great.
in on that circle.
She knows you. You guys have met before.
We have?
Yeah, she worked at Show Me Your Moo. You guys did an event with Clever.
What? That's so
Yeah.
cool. We did do that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
God, LA's so small.
It's a small place. All right,
love
your
that.
final three. You ready?
Yep.
They're the trains of the canine world. They're freight Danes.
Yeah, that's good.
She likes that one.
Freight Dane.
She's a lady in the free streets, but a freakinese in the street.
Wow.
No. And how about for Halloween, he's dressing like a taxi. He's a Labrador Retriever.
Labrador Retriever.
like
That was so fun.
These are questions in Jeopardy. This is the silliness.
Did you
that
come
is-
up with those?
Yeah.
You're so creative.
I don't know.
pick
about
an
that.
opponent, come by on a Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Play for keeps. I think one of our prizes next is a You Got Mail soundtrack.
We've got our buddy DJ Oldboy.
Wait,
sends
You've
us-
Got Mail's my favorite Christmas movie.
Is it a Christmas movie?
Are you kidding? Of course, it takes place during Christmas. Also, people forget
It
that
does
Dave
take place.
Chappelle is in You've Got Mail.
He is in You Got Mail. I
It is-
always forget
I mean,
that.
Tom Hanks, Christmas, Meg Ryan, bookstore,
The best.
romance, Dave Chappelle.
It's basically
Dun, dun,
Notting
dun,
Hill
dun,
in
dun.
America.
It's basically Notting Hill in America.
So I'll save this for when you come on Jeopardy.
What is
okay?
this?
This is the CD to the You've Got
What's
Mail.
a CD?
Nasty.
You guys, Carole King's on this?
Yeah.
God.
The Cranberries. You better win your Jeopardy.
Anyone at all.
Yeah.
Man.
We got to give a quick shout out since we started on it. DJ Oldboy sent us 2 CDs that are going to be Jeopardy contestant winners. This week we're going to do a little Shark Week theme with Greg Miller and Nick Scarpino. We also give a shout out to our buddy Laserbolt who made us. We created a board game here. It's called Futility, the actual game of living.
This is so fun.
And he made us 3D models of like things. So there's Maui and what's this guy's name? The scary guy that I'm scared of?
Pennywise.
Pennywise. And then here's Yoda. And then this is what's this guy's name? This guy?
Is it Jason?
Jason.
Jason,
Jason.
yeah.
I don't do horror movies. no.
I love it.
Stop it.
Whoa. Ken, did you guys see Fast and Furious 9?
No, not yet.
I didn't know.
I have a
I've
baby.
seen Fast 5.
So unless it comes out
That's
via
it.
like the Black Widow
Yeah.
style, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be able to see it for about a year.
This is kind of a spoiler,
Mm-hmm.
but there are a couple lines exchanged about Star Wars, and it's incredible
In Fast 9.
in Fast 9.
Well, 'cause they go to
Between
space, right?
Who?
It has
They
nothing
need to.
between Charlize
Okay.
Theron,
Full
Charlize
cut
Theron.
Charlie's.
Charlize Theron, and another actor.
Oh, like a
And it's-
spoiler. Okay.
You would very much enjoy the couple lines that are exchanged.
All right. Well, I'll start at 1, work my way back up to 9.
No, you could just watch 9.
We also need to give a shout out to our buddy Daniel Medina. We got a lot of presents yesterday. It was amazing.
Wow.
Ikaika, you can bring up these pictures. Look at what he got, Lil Rosie.
Let's see.
I think you'll really enjoy. Look at that.
Oh my God! What? Are you kidding me?
Yes.
That's the most beautiful Snow White ever.
I know. She's so sweet.
That's
she was so excited when
amazing.
she had it on too.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I feel like it's
a lot of
babies either
clothes.
love it or don't love it.
No,
you
she
know what
loves
I
it.
mean?
I mean, you should see her in sunglasses. You wouldn't think a 4-month-old would love sunglasses as much as my baby. And there's the other one. Look at her with her little. She's so sweet.
I'm obsessed. Are you?
Obsessed with my daughter? Yeah.
No, that's not what I was gonna ask.
Hmm.
It's I mean, your daughter is so stunning.
Oh, thank you.
Do you ever
She
feel
looks
like?
like me, so thanks, Naz. I
Do
appreciate
you ever
that.
get that?
We have
She
the
does
same
look like
haircut?
you. No, but I think people often wonder who like don't have kids, or I don't even know what I'm trying to ask. You know when people like just suffocate you with pictures of their children,
Mhm,
and you just like don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Like, what do you say?
Well, I try not to be that dude. Like, look,
Yeah.
because I'm obviously obsessed with my daughter.
But
And
also, you created life.
I know.
So it's like it's astonishing.
I know, and but like Ken, not a big baby guy, but when Rosie comes in, he loves her.
Yeah.
Right.
Love babies.
But Ken, do you ever feel this way? I don't know if you don't have children. Okay. So
God, no.
He does have a life-size Ewok.
so
though.
when
I do.
people show you pictures of their kids,
Mhm.
what do you say?
I'm there for them in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not lying when Rosie comes. She's the cutest thing in
Yeah,
the world.
exactly. But what if she wasn't?
I know that's the hard part.
What
Because
if
Amanda
she-
and I think to ourselves, like, is our baby not that cute?
No, but I don't even mean
When you-
physically.
you
I don't even
stand
mean
above the big crib. I don't know. What do you think?
I see. That's.
I don't mean physically because I think all humans are beautiful.
Sure.
Oh,
I
thanks,
mean
Naz.
like in attitude and behavior, in personality. Like a child comes in and is just a terror, you know, and
Yeah.
the parents like, this is little Jeremy,
Jeremy's
Poor
getting crushed
Jeremy's
today.
out there.
Yeah.
and you're
Jeremy spoke. Yeah.
and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah. I have.
Mm-hmm.
Like I trust Josh and Amanda that when Rosie hits that 2-3 age where she might be a little terror, where
Right.
against just nature's way,
Yeah.
that they'll clamp it down.
Totally. We run it like a
Yeah.
communist regime.
Like
How did you change
Not
after
like that.
becoming a father?
Wow, that's a deep question there, Naz.
this is why she's the leader of Heartbroken Anonymous.
See now,
Exactly.
now you're gonna get me
Gets
to
to the
start
core.
crying.
No, that's not why. I'm just curious. I think we all hear about men who say, you know, I love my children, but when I had a daughter, it really changed me.
Yeah,
And so I'm curious if you had that feeling, and if so, like how?
yeah. I don't get high. Like I don't smoke that much weed ever. but if I do, I get way too cerebral. And I start thinking about like, I'm going to have to kill a 15-year-old boy if he's ever mean to my daughter, kind of a thing.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
And I want to be very protective, but also very much like, hey, I need you to make your own decisions. This is your life, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
But I want her to love her dad forever. And I know that there's going to be teenage years or these 6 years, 7 years, like, I hate you, dad. And it's going to break my heart. And I think about that way too much.
Yeah.
But also, like, I look into this little girl's eyes every day, and I'd like, it has opened a whole new emotional portal for me. Somebody that was already like very heavily emotional. You know, I'm the kind of guy that cries all the time. I'm scared of everything.
I love that about you.
So I have like, you know, my ups and downs.
Have you ever felt shame around that? Have you ever been scared or embarrassed about being a man who's in tune with his emotions?
I think that we unfortunately make men feel like that. I have never been, because I'm not that kind of guy.
That's amazing.
I mean, I am who I am. I'm not trying to pull any punches. I'm not, you know.
Right.
I scream during movies. I cry during movies. I yell during Steeler games. You know what I mean? It's like.
So being in a fraternity, you never felt like you had to hold back on that part of yourself.
Oh, definitely not.
That's amazing.
I wasn't in like a meathead fraternity. We were Sigma
There
Alpha
was
Hair
no
Salon.
like toxic masculinity.
No, I don't think so. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think toxic masculinity, as much as I judged yesterday, do you know Natasha Martinez, right? Natasha was talking about a guy she dated who had the friend's mirror around his eye hole, like in his apartment.
No.
And I was like, it's a little much.
Well, that's not okay.
Yeah. Right? Like,
As Larry David would say, it's a bit much.
it's a bit much.
Yeah.
What, Ken?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Larry David. Okay. So I think that there's no toxic masculinity is really tough, because I think there's like a fine wire of it. But I think that masculinity and femininity nowadays especially really have an amazing place together in that Venn diagram.
Right. And we all have all of it, right?
Correct.
It's so,
Yeah.
But
It's
it's
interesting.
having been in an alpha male environment for 17 years of my old job, it's pretty rampant.
Right.
It is, and it's hard.
Because they don't see the levels that it goes to.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel because, you know, a lot of hetero men will come to Heartbroken Anonymous, which is a support group I run for people that are heartbroken. And a lot of them.
Could have used that about 8 years ago.
And it's not just romantic heartbreak, it's anything. So if you're like unemployed, or you don't have a home, or you had a heart attack or a miscarriage.
The Dolphins haven't been in a Super Bowl since the 80s. Does that count?
Exactly. Actually, someone came, and I don't know if this is going to
Probably
make
a
you laugh.
Steeler fan.
Someone came when Brady left.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was it was
Jared?
so close to their identity. It was a woman.
Oh, wow.
So
I thought it was our friend, but
it's a very real thing. But yeah, shout out to Jared Haven, because Jared,
The
I
best.
love you. You're
Yeah.
the best. But
Gotcha.
what was I going to say?
no, it can be. Yeah, if you're emotionally your identity invested in it.
Yeah,
it's great.
I was going to say is they come to the meetings and they're like, you know, if it's for a breakup, they're like, I can't talk to my friends about this because they're just going to tell me to move on, or they're going to tell me, you know, she was crazy. You're going to save so much money now. And it's unfortunate that I feel like sometimes men don't have the space to grieve or the
Yeah.
support system
Talk
to
about it.
grieve.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You know? I think that was one of the magical things about a couple years ago. My brother had cancer, and we like had never had like brotherly sit down communication things before.
Wow.
Like best friends our entire life.
Isn't
but
that
there wasn't like
crazy?
we never had those, you know, let's talk about life kind of things. I've had more like talk about life moments with Ken and Mark Ellis than I have with my own brother. But
Yeah.
I think that's like the difference between friends and family sometimes. But you know, when you are faced with death and you're faced with a life moment,
Right.
you and your brother find a different, again, like when I have my daughter, a different level of emotional availability.
Yeah.
And I think it's very, very important. I think therapy is important. I think talking to people is very important. And I
Yeah.
think putting your heart out there and putting like your emotions on your sleeve is very important, because you never know if somebody else is going through the same thing you're going through.
Yeah,
And you might make a
yeah.
great friend through it.
And we all are. We're all going through the same stuff. We all
Yeah.
just want to feel like we belong.
Correct.
And we all want to feel like we're at home. But that's so awesome
Yeah.
that your daughter has done that for you.
She's like, I
Get ready.
I never liked waking up before. I'm a morning person. I love the morning, but I never liked waking up.
What's
a
your
weird thing.
favorite part about like when she like wakes up? Or
So I go into the crib and like Amanda would be like, she's up, and I'll like I'll spring out of bed.
that's so cool.
Because I love, like, you lean over the crib and she's just like, oh, this guy is back. I love him.
Oh my god.
And we like dance in the morning, and I change her diaper, and we have a bottle, and it's like, you know. It's a
You know what it
magical time.
is, and I think you know what's tough, having got someone who I think you guys know I love my father and I'm close with him. And I think what has been hard for him is that when you are that teeny, up into a certain age, you are like a dog in a way where you're giving your parents unconditional love.
Correct.
And we as humans never get that, right? Love is so conditional. When you date someone, you kind of have to change, and you're like, ugh, you have to compromise. When you have a dog, it just like loves you. And when you have a baby, it just loves you. But unlike dogs, humans then form their own opinion and personalities and then want to do things. And I think that, I don't know, growing up, I was just like, oh, let me do what I want. I'm such a good kid. I don't understand. And now that I'm older, I'm like, that must have been so heartbreaking for my father for me to leave home. Like, when I think about how much they've done for me, when I think about how probably loving I was as a baby. Yeah. And now I'm like, ugh, we're so different.
But
you're annoying.
Listen, they raised you to be your own person. You know, I went to one of those high schools.
Some parents do.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Your parents let you do.
Well, my parents actually, I'm a black sheep in my family. And I think if it was up to my parents, I would have like gone it. It's also hard because I'm first generation. So I think a lot of us inherit our parents' dreams. But yes, my dad was always like, you're amazing. You're the best. You're Naz Perez. You're Naz Perez. You can do anything you want. So that was really helpful. But also they're very like Catholic and they were just different in a lot of different ways.
Right.
And I think I felt like I had to, I'm so happy that I like stood up for myself and just like kind of like did what I want and wanted to discover parts of myself on my own, you know?
No, and I think that's really important. My brother and I, like I said, very, very different kids, all growing up, but so different that we have a very common bond.
Wait, that's so cool. All of you guys are different?
No, it's just me and him.
Oh, you just
just us two.
Okay.
But and then my mom and dad were very much the parents. They both worked long hours and they were very hardworking people. And so my brother and I had a lot of time on our own, which really gave us the opportunity to make our own decisions.
Right.
I went to a really like uppity high school where parents were super involved in kids' sports and like yelling at coaches about playing time. And my parents were always like, if you're not good enough, you're not going to play.
Yeah.
If you're not studying hard enough, your grades are going to show it. I'm not going to go to a teacher and be like, why doesn't my kid have an A?
Right.
He doesn't have an A because he didn't read Great Expectations.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you. I tried the Cliff Notes and it didn't go that well.
Yeah.
And so I think that, but also like if my parents had their wish, I'd still be in Pittsburgh, like selling cars for my dad or like.
That's what I mean. It's like they wanted you to be yourself, but also if it was up to them,
we'd be next door. We'd live next door.
So how do you find that balance as a parent? It's fascinating. And I often wonder, because I do want to be a mom one day, and I often wonder, like, is there a right way to parenting? And I think the answer is no. But I'm sure, did you ever look back and you're like, okay, I'm not going to do this, or I am going to do this that my parents did with my kid?
I don't know. Like, I had pretty cool parents. When I look back at it,
that's awesome.
There's a few times where I'm like, they got it wrong, right? Maybe I wish they would have asked me what I wanted to do and like helped me pursue that, because I probably would have had a leg up by the time I like got to college or moved to Los Angeles. Fortunately, like sports was life, and they just figured I'd go to Penn State and just major in business and do what my brother did, and that was never going to be me. Wow. I could have like majored in broadcast journalism and like been a local sports anchor and then worked my way to ESPN or something like that. But listen, I am where I am in my life, and there's no looking back on it. It didn't ruin my childhood where my parents were like, listen, you're going to go to the priesthood and we're going to be a Catholic priest because we've always wanted one in the family. Right. And so that didn't happen. And the fact that they let me make my own decisions. Listen, I can blame my parents for that, but I also could have been like, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm going to pursue that. But I didn't, because I loved partying and I loved being with people and I loved just like doing this.
Yeah.
So,
it's funny you say that, because I grew up very Catholic. Obviously, I'm named after Jesus of Nazareth. And I discovered through therapy that I think of life in very black and white terms, I think, because I was socialized to think that way. Yeah. And so I'm always when I make any decision in life, I'm always searching for the right decision. And I'm realizing there is no right decision. Should I date this person? Should I move here? Should I take this job? And I'm always like, which is the right one? And I ask a million people and I'm always like, I don't know what to do. And at the end of the day, you make a decision, and then if it didn't work out with that person, you learn so much from it anyway. Like, there's no such thing as a wrong decision, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
I grew up being taught the decisions were either safe or not safe, and I always chose safe, which meant I was very sheltered. I haven't done a drug to this day because I'm like, well, Mom said that's not good.
Right, right.
And when I finally drank alcohol at 26, I was like, I didn't tell them for 2 years.
Wow, Ken.
Yeah, so I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But I think through therapy, you look back, I look at my parents. mistakes and all, and there were some mistakes, and there was a lot of successes.
Yeah.
You go, just two humans trying to figure it out.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. There's no
and you
right
forgive and
or wrong
forget, or
way.
forgive and move
Yeah,
on.
yeah. And I think the ultimate goal in life is accepting, right?
Yeah.
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 And a good whiskey.
It's so hard. And good whiskey.
And good whiskey.
With a large ice cube.
Oh, I love that.
I don't really like whiskey, but I like the aesthetic of whiskey.
Yeah.
I like how I'm
John Hamm nature of
I
it.
like how I'm perceived. This is so
Yeah.
superficial.
No,
I like if I had like a glass of whiskey, and by the way, I don't even love drinking
Really?
ever. I really don't. I hate it. It like hurts my stomach. I like to wake up in the
Yeah,
morning and
that's
work
smart.
out. I like to like not be bloated, and I like to not feel like shit. But then every now and then I'm like, let's get drunk, you know.
Yeah.
But even then, I always remember what's going on that night. I've never been like, But anyways,
No,
it
it's you and
affects.
I.
It affects everyone differently.
Yeah.
But I like holding a glass and like ordering whiskey and there being a very large, beautifully cut ice cube in it. And I like how and it's like, oh, that girl's
There's-
drinking whiskey.
Yeah.
But that's so not me.
Maybe-
I'm such a
Kinda
loser.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
because I don't know if Josh, because jokes aside, you might have been introduced to drinking earlier. Where like when I was finally able to go to a bar and be like, Jameson rocks 2 fingers.
Right.
That felt really adult and cool.
Like, don't you feel
Yeah.
so cool? You're just like,
Where do
Yeah.
they see me now
Yeah.
back in
Yeah.
elementary school?
Look at
yeah.
me now.
And I'm such a loser, you guys, and I don't care to admit it.
Bless
But
you.
even like I went home for 4th of July in Florida and my friends are making
Nice.
Aperol Spritz. And they're like,
Ooh,
do you
the
want an
best.
Aperol Spritz? And I'm like, of course. And then I got it and I'm like, so what's in this? Like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
with you.
even know.
Amanda lives for an Aperol Spritz.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm a
it's-
loser.
Yeah,
We're gonna lose.
Lose.
This is a good quick trick, Josh. Sorry. So where can people sign up for Heartbroken Anonymous
Yes.
and get this kind of
Well done.
in-depth
Support.
conversation with you?
Support. So it's basically how it works, just so everyone knows. It's not a 12-step program, but it's where people come and share and listen to stories of heartbreak to remind each other that we're not alone. And sharing is not mandatory. So I do 2 meetings a month virtually on Zoom. All information is at heartbrokenanonymous.com. And we also have an Instagram at heartbroken_anonymous. Or you guys can DM me at Naz Perez. It's like right up there on the screen. And I will answer any questions you have. But yeah, it's an awesome place to go if you're going through anything. I think when we're all experiencing heartbreak, which the official definition is overwhelming distress. And I hate that when people hear the word heartbreak, we immediately think a girl in matching pajamas in a rom-com eating ice cream on a bed.
Right.
And that's not what heartbreak is. Heartbreak is anything. Like a lot of people come because they're heartbroken within themselves. They're like,
Sitting
I
at
lack
Barney's beating
motivation.
with a
I feel
whiskey.
depressed. You know, people that struggle with addiction are like, you're helping me fix the reason why I'm drinking, you know, or whatever it is. And I think we always think it's happening to us, right? Like, it's like if something's happening in your apartment or you lose your job, you're like, the world sucks. It's all happening to me. And then you go to Heartbroken Anonymous, you hear other people's stories and you're like, oh, this is okay. I'm not alone. And you're also doing something really nice because you're giving someone else a listening ear that may not have anyone else to talk to about it. So that's what Heartbroken Anonymous is. Meetings
love
last
that.
about like an hour and a half. And it's really cool. People from all walks of life, any age, any race, any gender, whatever you identify with, people come.
How many meetings do you start by just playing Roxette's It Must Have Been Love?
Yeah.
It must have been love. Oh, do we have to pay for that if I sing?
Nah.
You know
think
what's
you hit a
you know
note.
what I miss, Ken, about doing them in person, because I was doing them in person before the
That's
pandemic, is I actually did have a playlist going, and the Heartbroken Anonymous playlist is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I like
I'll
it.
have to share that with you.
Any Journey on there?
That's a good one. Journey's not on there. Journey reminds me of dive bars,
Oh man, Journey's my favorite band of all time.
but like when you're going through heartbreak.
I mean, Don't Stop Believing. Just like get out there.
Yeah.
Don't stop believing. Right?
Yeah, that's a good crying song. What do you guys listen to when you want to cry? Or what do you watch?
Probably the Braveheart soundtrack.
What do I watch? Up in the Air. That's Clooney's kind of me.
Yeah.
Which is not a great.
Up in the Air is so good with Anna Kendrick.
Yeah. What's the
Mark
Steve Martin
Ramsey.
picture? Shop Girl.
That's good.
Because it took me years to realize I was Steve Martin, and it took me another year to realize he's the bad guy, and I had to make some changes based on
Yeah,
that.
wow.
And then I'll put on Bob Dylan doing "Congratulations"
Yes.
on the Traveling Wilburys Volume 1.
Oh, I love that.
Traveling
Bob
Wilburys
Dylan.
and the other supergroup I really like is Temple of the Dog.
Who's in that?
Chris
I'm
Cornell.
going hungry.
Chris Cornell, Eddie Vedder.
Yeah.
who-
Mid-90s.
Dave Grohl?
Is Eddie Vedder the one that sings "Take Me Home"?
No, that's Eddie Money.
Oh, Eddie.
Eddie Vedder's lead
I
singer
knew-
of Pearl Jam.
See, my brain was,
First time they've ever been confused in history.
my brain,
Naz Perez, everybody. Let's hear it for her.
My brain was going through the Rolodex, and it was like, who do you know named Eddie that sings? And I was like,
love
take
that.
me home tonight.
It's a great one.
I don't want to let you. Guys, can we just back to music?
Yeah.
Night at the Roxbury.
Underrated film. Underrated.
It's just the soundtrack to my South Florida life. If I had a band, it would be called Florida Disco.
Ooh, I like that.
good.
Yes.
It
And,
would not be the Miami Sound Machine.
It would not be Miami Sound Machine. It
I
would be
love
Florida
them.
Yeah, great.
Gloria Estefan was like my mom's minivan soundtrack.
Da-na, come on, shake your money, maybe do that. I don't know another song that could just like really get anyone moving.
No,
That's the one I separated my shoulder to in college.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the one that was the theme song.
Separated my shoulder.
Well, I tried to do run off the wall, Ken, and I landed
Whoa.
on the shoulder.
That's a good one. That one and Bailamos.
That was
by-
the theme song for the Miami Dolphins defense in the early 90s. They called themselves the Miami Pound Machine.
yeah.
I'm a Dolphin fan.
Wait,
So
I
it's
was just
like,
gonna
yeah.
ask. Wait, so you're a Doll fan?
I am
So
a-
did you live in Miami?
No, I've never been to Miami. I'm also a New York Yankee fan.
Wait, why are you a Dolphins fan?
Dan Marino.
I grew up 3
Dan
hours
Marino.
south
Dan
of...
Shula or Dan Marino?
Don.
No,
Don
I-
Shula.
Marino. I grew up 3 hours south of San Francisco.
Yeah.
And when they went Super Bowl against the Niners, everyone in my school rooted for the Niners. I was like, I'm going to root for the Dolphins. And that was a bad decision.
So you're a contrarian. So then you just stuck with it. You're like, I got on this wagon. I can't get off of
Can't
it.
get
Like I
off.
committed.
Can't get
It's
off.
so funny.
Sammy Smith's going to save us.
I'm the worst person ever because growing up in South Florida, it's the opposite of what Boston and sports is. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like people,
Nonchalance.
it's just people go for fun. But we have, the Florida Panthers. I guess
Marlins.
it's different up in Tampa because the Lightning and the Rays are like
Good.
and I used to work.
And now the
for them.
Bucks. Ugh.
Yeah, and now the Bucks, exactly. But down in South Florida, when you got the Panthers, the former Florida Marlins,
Now the Miami Marlins.
now the Miami Marlins. It's just, you know what I
Dolphins.
mean? So when LeBron went to the Heat,
The Heat?
everyone's like, oh, I'm such a Heat fan. And I was like, no, you weren't.
Yeah.
You went because you got the honor roll wheel and there was like a free ticket to go to a Heat game
Yeah.
in sixth grade.
Mm-hmm. That's how easy the Heat tickets were. It's kind of
Exactly.
like, and I'm going to say it straight up because my buddy's from Boston and he'll back me up on this one. Nobody was a Patriots fan before Tom Brady got there.
Wait, really?
Nobody. They didn't even have, barely anybody even showed up to the games. And all of a sudden, Tom Brady takes them to the freaking Super Bowl. And it's like, oh my God, I'm a huge Pats fan. Oh my God. You weren't. You cared about the Red Sox, the Bruins, and the Celtics. And the Patriots were some team that played at Foxborough. You weren't a fan. You weren't.
Josh, those are some very strong words, and I'm very scared for the comment section.
Go ahead. Yell
but
at me.
that was
I'm a Steelers fan. We were terrible. Then we were good in the 70s. And then the entire city is stuck by it day in, day out. Men die at the stadium. And they have their funerals at the Concourse B outside Gate A.
Look, you just didn't have Steve Grogan as your quarterback. If you had Grogan as your quarterback in the 80s, you might have been different. Might have been-
I'm
With
going
Mark
to use
Malone.
that. I'm so not like I love sports when it comes to football. I'm just like, my parents.
You're just a baseball
I'm
fan.
not
You're
a football.
baseball.
I'm bad. I actually NBA is like my
NBA.
top.
NBA.
But what I'm gonna use, I like to use lines like that, Ken. So I'll just file that away.
File away.
So
Steve
when I
Grogan.
have whiskey in my hand and a big ice cube, I'm gonna be like, well, if Grogan was your quarterback on the Steelers, and then when they ask follow up questions, I'm always I gotta go to the bathroom. Like I'll be right back.
Yeah,
And
well, it
that's
should have
it.
been Tony Easton. Just go. Easton was a flop.
Easton was a flop.
Ended up in East Rutherford with the Jets. I don't know.
All
what
right.
any of this is.
I got
East
I
Rutherford.
have two things I want to bring up before we
Okay.
get to videos.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so
I'm
Daniel.
having so much fun.
I'm glad. You're the best. This
Thanks,
is amazing.
guys. You're the best.
All right, Daniel M says, Josh, that mustache is on point. I'm currently rocking a stash after going as Ron Swanson to a sitcom-themed birthday party. Now,
Wait, so is it a mustache if
No,
it's
no, no.
connected to the?
So here's what I did.
Okay.
Amanda hates my mustache. Okay.
Really?
Our first Thanksgiving together as a couple, I was doing Movember,
Oh,
and
love
it
it.
was like the thickest, most hideous mustache.
Really?
So I buzzed. The beard was thicker. Obviously, I buzzed it down to one. I did my hair and
Yeah.
beard this morning, and I didn't do the mustache. And she didn't say anything when I left the house. So nobody say anything to her. I'm gonna see how long it takes for her to actually notice that I'm not buzzing the mustache. It could go days. It could go days.
Do you feel so when I've never been blonde, but when women dye their hair blonde or whoever dyes their hair blonde, I think they feel like a different person. Do you feel like a different person when you have a mustache?
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like Don Draper in Mad Men?
Did he have a mustache?
I don't think so, but like, do you feel like that era
I
and that time
mean,
period?
I occasionally,
I feel like a
especially
1980s frat guy.
yeah, especially when I was in wrestling,
dream.
I would do the handlebar, and that transforms you.
Wait, Ken, you wrestled?
Oh yeah.
I was a manager and a booker, ran an indie company for a few years, and been in and out of the business for like 20 years.
Wait,
Yeah.
what was your wrestling name?
Oh.
Tex Tunney, the last scion of the Great Southern Promoters.
Tex Tunney.
I had a stable called the Territory Kings. Yeah.
Stop. This
Yeah.
is unbelievable.
And-
Oh, wrestling was the shit back in the day.
Been in one match in my life.
And did you win?
No, it was the end of a feud. It was a hardcore match. I got put through a table, and it ended up in Pro Wrestling Illustrated, the only dream of my life that's come true other than working with Josh Markey.
Oh,
Wait,
boom.
so do we need to have a rematch now, years later?
can't, it's back
Is
soon.
that what the people want?
Yeah, the Fed's still going.
I think you should come out of retirement.
Okay.
I think you should
Ken has a gym
bring
in
the
his
stash
garage now,
back.
Naz.
Just rebrand yourself. You could be the Tom Selleck. What was your name?
Tex Tunney.
You could be Tex Tom Selleck.
Grace won't let me do the handle. I did it once for the Schmodown, and I had to sleep in the garage for 3 days.
You bring up an interesting point. So because I've had my first real serious relationship recently. I don't even like saying serious because I think they're all serious if you feel that they are.
Okay.
But when you're with someone for a long time, is it a mutual decision? Like your facial hair? Is that like a mutual
It is for
decision
me.
you guys have to make?
I
How do you
can't-
guys feel about that?
I can't shave this off.
How do you guys feel about that? Because I believe the equivalent on my end would probably be like, because men don't like it when women sometimes get filler or Botox.
Yeah.
I have a couple friends that are like, can I sleep over while it's swollen and then I'll go home because I feel like blank and blank is going to kill me. And as someone who's been single a lot of my life, I'm like, this is crazy. It's your body. So what do you guys think about that?
Well, okay.
I don't want you guys to sleep in the garage tonight.
I'll take this.
I'm just genuinely curious.
I like the facial hair. I like the scruff. I've said that we're starting to do a weight loss challenge here in the beginning of August 4th through October 28th. Nice. Ken, myself, and Ikaika are doing it.
Nice.
And I was going to grow out a beard the whole time, but then my beard just gets I don't like the look of it. My face just looks so fat when it's a big beard, and it's already fat when it's a small beard. So like I need to
That's
lose
debatable.
a little bit. I need to lose a little bit, but I like the scruff. So I don't ever want to be clean shaven
Apple
again.
scruff, yep.
Amanda likes the scruff, so we're totally in agreement with that. I had scruff at the wedding. I will have scruff forever. But I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind like clean shaving into a mustache every November.
So how does this work? So then you want that. So then do you have a conversation? And you're like, so this is what I want. And
no,
then
I just do it, and then she gets upset, and then she comes back around. She's like, "Ugh, it's so hideous." And then she calls it hideous, but she lives with it. She married me, and she knows that all the time. It's like, you know what you married, because the other day she came home and Rosie was doing a slip and
but she
slide.
didn't marry a guy with a mustache.
No,
so
she
that
didn't.
there's the
It's true.
argument, right? She didn't actually commit to a guy with a mustache.
Yeah. See,
But I'm not a mustache guy. Like I can't
yeah.
rock the mustache.
I think
God,
anyone
we
can
wouldn't
rock.
be-
I
we
think
wouldn't be
anybody
friends.
can rock anything they want.
See,
I
but-
think that's
Yeah.
like limited beliefs, right? I don't need to get Keith Raniere in here.
I just
And
Are you
Nexium,
going
but
to start playing volleyball?
is Nexium, but that is a limited belief. You can rock whatever you want.
Okay.
I support that. Mustaches should probably go. But my dad's had the same mustache for 45 years.
Yeah,
so it's weird because I'm engaged to a working actor, so physical appearance is something that's very important to me, and I'm whatever she needs, cut her hair short, cut her hair long. It's all good. She does control a little bit. Like I could shave the beard, obviously, but she does not like that. Does not approve. She changed the way I dress slowly over the years because she was like, "You're not red carpet ready, and I need you to stop looking like you're an off-duty FBI dad at a soccer game."
Kind of like that look though.
Off-duty FBI guy.
Well, I came from that world. I was a director of public safety. All my friends were cops, and all that. So it's like, yeah, we all look like. We went to one party. Remember the Menounos party? And
Yeah.
the guy came up to me. We're all walking, all the schmoes. He comes to me and goes, "You cop?" And I was like, "God damn, no. Can I go into the party?"
But
He's
is
like,
it the stash or is it the clothes?
No, I've never
I
had a
want?
stash. No, it's the
Back when Ken was
demeanor.
clean
Well, your
shaven.
beard.
clothes.
It's
No, I
like-
couldn't have a beard back then.
Oh, God.
Now he's
got it.
Jedi.
High and tight, and and it's
Interesting.
like there's demeanor. You're just
Yeah,
used to,
yeah.
So I'm glad she's changed things.
Wow, I blame pop culture for that one.
Yeah, so I'm okay to give up some control.
That's so funny. I will tell you guys when I probably shouldn't reveal this, but conversations that girlfriends have that I've been a part of is like, "Oh, I went on a date with this guy. I don't love his style." And the response is always, "Yeah, but you can change that.
Every
You
time.
can change that."
I mean,
So
Guess what?
story of your
So
first date is
everyone
still-
listening, that is totally a thing. And if you're saying it's not a thing, you're in denial.
Guess who said that about me to Amanda? All of her girlfriends.
Yeah.
And guess
They're like-
who
they're
still
like-
wears only Pittsburgh graphic tees and plain pink tees? This guy. Naz.
Really? So I like what is this, salmon?
This is salmon.
I love that color on
Thank
you.
you. Thanks.
It's a great color.
Good God.
Speaking of style,
Men should wear more salmon.
I have a
love
lot of
men's
salmon.
fashion, by the way. Why do you have ties there?
Okay, here's
That's a great question.
Speaking of
Great
like
segue.
dreams happening, coming true.
Okay.
So a couple weeks ago, I had Jean Trebek on the show, Alex Trebek's wife.
That's amazing.
And Alex Trebek is my professional hero. My only dream job since I was 10 years old is to be the next host of Jeopardy.
Well, yeah. Well, you should because you have Josh
Purdy.
Purdy.
Thank you. And I got this note yesterday and said, "Dear Josh, a note of great thanks for having Allison and I on your show last week. We had a really wonderful time. Enclosed are some items from Alex's collection.
No.
I hope there's one or two good ones. And to share, all the best, Gene."
No.
And these are 5 of Alex Trebek's
Trebek's
ties.
It's crazy.
These are his ties.
Isn't that crazy? It's just the best.
His ties.
I think few things in life make me speechless, but that is like the most generous, coolest thing I've ever
was on cloud
I've
nine
experienced in the
yesterday.
last year and a half. How do you feel?
I mean, it's like, unlike
That's
it's,
unbelievable.
yeah. It's
That's like
So what is it? So you got to wear them and be the next host of Jeopardy, Josh.
I know. I know.
legacy. That's
I
like
think this one he wore with a mustache for sure.
Oh,
Wait, these
definitely.
ties are
Oh, yeah, that's an
unbelievable.
88. That's
yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
What if you had what if it was a manifesting mustache?
Ooh.
And this mustache, you do the mustache, you put on the tie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's always like it's act as if, right? Ben Affleck in Boiler Room.
Yes.
Act as if.
Act as if. This one would be great in a full Windsor.
Are you gonna wear
These
them?
one are my high school colors, which is crazy.
What are you gonna do with them?
I'm gonna wear a couple of them, and I'm gonna keep a couple of them just for me.
You need to put them in
Just-
like a glass case.
That's
or
what he
something.
said.
Yeah, shadow box.
Shadow.
Shadow
box.
is out there.
I mean, that's like if someone was like, "Hey, you want this bass? It's Paul McCartney's."
Yeah.
It's
Wait,
like,
but-
that's that. That's his ties.
Can we go back to Jean for a second?
Jean is
like,
she was unbelievable.
but you also, I mean, you and I haven't really hung out, and this
Mm-hmm.
is my first experience, and I think you're such a warm human, and
Oh,
I
thank
think
you.
it's hard to like come across warm humans, you know. So obviously
Thank
she
you.
felt so touched by you that she sent these to you.
Yeah.
Also, such a testament to like who he is and what he means and
I
who
know.
he married.
Yeah.
Behind every great man.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
that's so cool. I would love to meet Jean.
She has her own
stationery.
stationery.
Everybody
with a J
should.
on
You
it.
don't
Yeah.
have one?
I did, and I don't have it anymore, and I would
You
really like to
should.
get back.
I
on
think
it.
handwritten notes are such a beautiful thing that should come back.
all the time I write
You know?
thank you notes to everybody.
Yeah. I during the pandemic, a couple friends mailed me letters and I cried. They just live on the west side.
No, that's another country. I wouldn't.
that is totally. But still, it's like they could have easily texted me,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's such a beautiful thing. Josh, that is
Oh no,
unbelievable. What was your initial reaction?
we all were silent.
Yeah,
in
it was
here.
we shocked.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
That's
She was like,
Oh my God.
she said when she left, she's like, "I'm gonna send you something as a thank you," and I was like, "Okay." I thought I don't know. I thought she was gonna like a car or not car, a card. They're just gonna be like, "Hey, thanks for coming," whatever. I would have saved this. I would have just framed this from Jean Trebek.
Here's
Like,
Alex's Corolla.
right.
What?
Wow. But you know
And-
what's interesting when someone passes
And she writes just like I would imagine Jean
Yeah,
Trebek
yeah,
would
Aw.
write, like in that beautiful, like perfect cursive.
Yeah.
what an extraordinary human
Yeah.
because when someone passes, and thankfully not yet, I haven't had someone that close pass
Mm-hmm.
away, but it's like, what do you do with their stuff?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm sure parting with it is really hard. And how beautiful that she's sort of like giving the gift of Alex away in a way.
I
Do you know
still-
what I mean? Like it's like immortalized.
We talk about it
instead
all
of
the
keeping
time.
it. It's so cool.
My brother and I talk about it all the time because my dad has a ton of stuff. My dad's still alive. I'm not pushing him off a plank here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But like we talk about, because a really, really, really close friend of mine, his parents just died, and they were going through their
I'm
house.
sorry.
It's crazy. And I was helping them go through their house, and they had mountains of stuff, like art and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, "What are you keeping?" He's like, "If I could, I would keep everything, but I can't keep all this stuff."
It breaks my heart.
So when my pap died when I was 13, he was my best friend, and
I'm
I
sorry.
still have his golf clubs, and I never took the grips off because my paps, like those were where his hands were.
Yeah.
I don't play with them anymore. They're in Pittsburgh at home, but I will never ever part with those. And I still have his old Italian man track jacket, Nike track jacket
That's so
that I wear every now and then
cool.
too. And I think it's sentimentality and hoarding are two very different things, but being sentimental about the things that like just bring up those amazing memories you have of those
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
I think is very important. I don't, I think it's nostalgia. Listen, I love.
Same.
I'm very lucky to be in love every single day.
Oh, so jealous.
It's you're great.
It's okay. I love myself.
You're great. But I think nostalgia and love like kind of go hand in hand.
Well, when you just said sentimentality and hoarding, I think all of this is like it's linked. It's all nuanced. Yeah.
Like my parents won't get rid of anything because they are so in love with their sons and their sons' kids and memories and all this stuff. Like we have this game over the 4th of July. It's called the deck toss. And my dad has all of the deck toss year after year, like the board and the standings and the points. And, I think, my dad collects everything. And it's so magical to see his office and to see all these memories because I'm sort of like that. I keep a lot of things, but I don't keep as much as my parents, and I wish that I still had a lot of that stuff.
But you have Pabst's golf clubs, and that's really awesome.
I do have Pabst golf clubs.
That's wild.
Yeah,
wow.
Right?
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, it is. It's like, are you super nostalgic too, Ken? I'm very I mean, my favorite movie is The Sandlot. It's like, I love nostalgia.
Yeah. I think, I'm as a depressive person that you're kind of locked in the past.
Yeah.
Anxious people are more afraid of the future. And so it's like, and it's easy to get lost in that. Yeah, the hoarding. I mean, I have pencils I've had since the 2nd grade that I'm just like, and Grace is like, burn them.
And so is it you just don't want to part with it, or?
Yeah, and then once I do, it's okay, but it's hard to, yeah.
Letting go and holding on.
Yeah.
That. We said this earlier. It's all about radical acceptance and letting go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're all gonna die one day.
Yeah.
And
you know what the hardest part of this?
We can't get attached to things.
You're right.
And it's hard for me because I love things so much.
Yeah. Oddly enough, I'm better with death and people. Not that I don't, but like when my grandfather passed, I got to say goodbye to him, and I got up, walked away, and drove and cried home, and cried on the way home. And went, well, there you go. I'll have those memories, and that's for me. Where then I lose a job, and I'm like, remember that job, a radio job in the '90s, just the best thing ever.
Yeah, and because I think we attach our identity to these things, right? And we all fantasize about what our life would be like if we drove and worked there, and we'd be so happy, and like we don't actually know.
We don't know that.
But yeah. Wild, man.
What a show.
What a show.
What a time to be alive.
What a time. You wanna smile on our way out?
Yeah.
All right, let's watch some videos that make me smile.
I love it. This is amazing. That's unbelievable.
All right. Okay, watch this. Do you see this?
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
This isn't real.
I texted Ikaika. I was like, do you think we can do this? And he said, no, I don't.
Whoa, what?
I mean, insanity.
I don't
right?
know if you can do 245 pounds.
The body control.
The reason I'm so impressed is that it's on sand.
It's sand.
Sand is so unbalanced.
Do you see that woman? Watch the woman watching on the bottom left.
Yeah.
She stands up and is like,
she's like, what? Whoa! She's like, whoa, what's going on? Applause.
Yeah.
Guys, this is unbelievable. When I get up to fold my blanket when I leave the beach, I trip and fall because that's how unbalanced I feel on sand.
Guys, and look, my back hurts watching this.
This
like
is
the
the
landing
coolest
of
thing
holding
ever.
something like this.
So if you're I'm always fascinated and curious by like the conversations that took place before this.
Right.
Hey, do you think if I jumped on you and landed on sand and then jumped so that you land on sand, do you think it would work? And then someone was like, yeah.
Let's try it. It's because this is like an MC Escher drawing.
It's so creative and incredible.
That's how most pro wrestling moves are created.
They need to be on America's Got Talent.
Tex Tunney.
This is talent.
Tex could not do this.
You know what is kind of crazy? This would be a fun bar trick to have. Like, I jump into your arms or vice versa, or you jump into Kent, and like we start doing this.
What if it like in the Notebook, instead of them running into each other's arms in the rain, they did this?
They did this.
Like,
yeah,
I'd be down for that.
Have you done the one where you do push-ups with 3 other people in a square?
Why would you
Why
need
would
to?
I do that? I barely have back. Every time I wake up, there's a crack in my back.
Oh, yeah.
I just did this thing called rolfing. Have you guys ever heard of rolfing?
It's a role-playing laughing?
No, I never heard of it. It's it's an intense massage. Designed or created by this woman named Ida Rolf over at Esalen back in the day.
Great YouTube videos on the pain that it is.
It is so painful, but I'm very tight, and it I think it really loosened up. They like move the tissue in your body.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Goes to the layers.
Star Drew chimes in and says, no, don't do this in a bar or streets. Yeah, this might be
don't
sand
do
or pad
this.
down there.
Because you know what? You're going to knock 10 drinks out of people's hands. And that is so annoying when someone drops a drink on your shoes.
Or when you separate
that.
your shoulder during.
during what song was it?
What song were we talking?
You're like, I separated my shoulders.
Yeah, because Take Me Home Tonight.
Take me home tonight.
That was also when I was kicked out of the Belmont on
Wait,
La Cienega.
what are the words? Are the words to that song problematic?
I don't want to let you go till you see the light.
Wow, that sounds kind of sketch, Eddie.
Yeah. It's like,
I don't want to let you go
in my room, and now you're going to stay here. All right,
Oh my
this is the next
God.
one.
Oh my God.
Look at this little kid. Tried ice cream for the first time. Watch. And then wait. He's like, wait, what?
He's like, what is this?
Yeah.
That's
Living
incredible.
the dream, baby.
Wait, I wish the first time I ever had ice cream was captured on
I
screen.
know.
That's so cool that see, now with social media, like everyone's gonna grow up and have the best throwback Thursdays.
Totally.
They're gonna be like, this was the first time I ever had ice cream. Mine's like, this is me and Mickey Mouse.
Prior to 1990, there's one 16mm film of me somewhere, and that's it.
That's it.
That's got to. That looks like McDonald's froyo too, right?
No,
Or, I mean, McDonald's soft serve.
No, so the McDonald's so I'm kind of a McDonald's connoisseur because the M&M McFlurry is my favorite thing in the entire world, and I will go off about M&M McFlurries ever.
Nice.
But I do believe that McDonald's recently changed the ingredients because their
The soft
custard
serve.
and the soft serve is just so solid. It's perfectly custardy. But the reason why I know that's not McDonald's is because McDonald's cones have a square flat bottom.
Oh, that's right.
That's a
They don't
pointy
have the
well
pointy
done.
cone
Yeah, that's
bottom.
well
Yes.
done.
Go-to order: 2 cheeseburgers of a large fry, water. What?
Oh, that's bomb. No, it's an M&M McFlurry and a large fry.
Oh, I like that.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
dip the fry? in
I
the
was also
McFlurry?
a chicken nugget girl. Sometimes.
Chicken
It
nuggets,
depends how awful that day was.
My order is a McDouble, a 20-piece McNugget, and the Oreo McFlurry.
Yeah.
So, what sauce do you get with the nuggets?
I usually get the hot mustard.
I feel like you can tell a lot about a person
Or
when you
buffalo.
ask on like if they're barbecue. Some people just get honey, which I totally appreciate.
I like honey. I like the honey mustard's not bad. I can't do ranch. It makes me sick.
I don't like ranch either.
Yeah,
People
hot
love
mustard,
ranch.
buffalo, or the what's the
Szechuan
barbecue,
sauce?
Szechuan sauce.
Szechuan sauce.
Yeah.
Ken, what's your Mickey D's order?
That's it. I get the 2 cheeseburgers, large fry, and a water, because then the Diet Coke doesn't trigger the reactions that the other stuff.
But please
normally
tell me
would.
it's a fountain water, not a Dasani. Right? 'Cause I think-
Dasani's disgusting, but that's
Dasani's-
usually all they get. Or I
Dasani's
bring
gross.
something on my own.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
I
And then
love
I'll-
that journey for you.
I'll eat it in my car as fast as I can and deny the proof.
Yeah.
of it.
Amanda came out on
Yeah.
Saturday night at 1 a.m. because I was making too much noise with my bag of McDonald's, just like.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's.
But McDonald's
Yeah.
just slaps in the
It's
car.
so
It
good.
tastes
It's
better in the car than
does.
it does at home. I don't think McDonald's is meant to be consumed at home.
You know what the best part of McDonald's is?
What?
Is the next day in the car when you get in your car
And it
it's
smells
like
kind of like McDonald's. It
McDonald's.
smells like that little crunchy, super hard, super goldy French fry that was
Oh, yeah.
left under your mouth.
I mean, the greatest thing was they had the contract with Disneyland. You get off Big Thunder Mountain, and they had the soda and the French fry cart
they had that.
for a couple years.
Boom.
What?
It was the greatest.
Did you guys see that they have now a limited edition Space Jam Happy Meal? I may or may not have to go get that right after this.
That sounds good.
Ikaka Shively,
You know what else is really good in the car?
What?
chicken bakes
Chicken bakes.
What's chicken bake?
from Costco.
I don't have a Costco card. Does that
We'll
mean I'm
take
not
you.
an adult?
Come with us on Friday. We get chicken bakes.
Isn't
on
it like right
Fridays.
around the corner
Yeah,
from
it's
here?
right here.
Yeah.
God, I haven't had that hot dog pizza and ice cream in forever.
Oh, that ice cream is so good.
It's so good. It's better than IKEA's.
Chicken bake is.
3-year-old babies
this
leave.
kid.
Oh
This
my
kid.
Look
God!
at this kid
What?
go.
I still don't believe this kid.
Look at
What?
this kid.
I still don't believe it.
This
I've
makes
studied
you-
this video
This
from the
makes
other
you
angle.
feel useless.
He's
What?
so good. Look at him go.
Oh
I
my
want Rosie to
God.
do this so bad. We're gonna start dance training, probably to Beat Saber. Look
See,
at him go.
That's amazing.
It's like the electric slide, but on like way better.
There's
This is
another angle on
unbelievable.
this.
Okay.
And I literally studied it because I thought it was computer generated.
Yeah.
Is it?
The precision in his
Yeah.
body.
Ken, I love the skepticism you have because we need to have more of that. We need to have more of, is this real?
Because I'm
I
gullible.
don't because
Oh,
because I can't, TikTok's a little
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
incredible.
You can check out our chicken. We call it the chicken breaks. You can check out that video. It's up on the channel now.
I love that. I'm not on TikTok really because the dance moves intimidate me because I'm not coordinated like this. But I think if you are a good dancer like this, TikTok is like your
That's your
medium.
TikTok
jam.
channel.
Yeah.
All right, we got one more, Ikaka. Okay,
Your
this
2-year-old
terrified me.
sister for her undead doll on TikTok.
That doll is
terrifies me.
speaking to
Wait,
Look
this
at
is the
this.
most amazing video ever. I have to send this to my friend Lauren, who loves horror films. Stop.
I mean,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
bonkers to me. This is like Mark Riley.
Is
as a
her
kid.
name Annabelle? I must know.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
This
God.
is
This is so cool. That's hilarious.
kill them all.
That's hilarious.
Thank you, Chucky.
That's incredible.
They don't belong here
But this
with
is
you.
also proof that when you're a kid, like
Love is love.
life is not scary.
Love
Life's
is love.
amazing and
I
fun
don't know.
and
I
cool.
think I would have been scared of this.
And
as
then
a
we
kid.
grow up and we get scared of things.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what
true.
I
No,
was?
that's true.
You know what I was scared of though, Ken? I
Yeah.
wouldn't have mistaked you for a cop, but we used to in Coconut Creek, Florida, where I lived before we moved to Boca Raton, Florida. They used to have the crash dummies at the police
Oh, those
department,
things are terrifying.
like greet people at
Yeah.
park community
Yeah.
events. And I would scream and run into the car because I didn't understand what that
Like they had
was.
people inside the.
And then
Okay.
and then my fear was cured because I went to Epcot and they had some kind of car racing ride
Is it
there.
an Epcot Weiler?
Hey, all right.
And we got to end on that note, right?
Boom,
Because
there you
boom,
go.
boom, boom, full
Yeah.
circle.
This is
And then
the-
they had a crash dummy there and I wasn't scared anymore.
See, it came full circle.
There you
Naz
go.
got
Full
it.
circle.
Love it.
Thank you all for joining us here in the Positivity. Naz, thank you for being here. You're the best.
Oh, no,
First
you
dab
guys
in
are the
history of
best.
show.
I think I mean, the Alex Trebek ties,
It's great.
like,
Right?
I'm never going to forget that. That is the
Unbelievable.
coolest thing ever.
It's amazing.
You deserve those.
Thank you so much.
Everything happens for a reason,
Right.
and I think you should bring the stash back and wear the ties and
Here we go.
just do it.
All right.
Why you should who's the host of Jeopardy now?
They're doing all these guest hosts, and I unfortunately was not asked to be one.
How do we throw your tie in there?
I mean, I've been trying to throw my time there since 2016, 2015, 2012, 1999. I mean, forever.
Where do they shoot Jeopardy?
It's Sony over in Culver.
Oh, so you mean to tell me that you live in the same city where they shoot it, and it's right there?
Yeah,
and
I've
you
been to
have
a
Alex
taping.
Trebek's ties.
Alex Trebek has
and you have a
interviewed me.
mustache, and
Yeah.
you met Gene.
Yep.
Seems like you could just drive.
I met
over
Alex
there.
too.
Seems whoa.
Back in the day.
What was that like?
It was the greatest, one of the greatest days of my life. It was like my marriage, my birth, of my daughter, meeting Alex Trebek,
What did
and the Steelers Super Bowls.
what moment from that moment
In that
like
order.
just stands out to you?
Well, so I've told the story a bunch of times, so I'll tell it real quick. I was at the taping,
Mm-hmm.
and I have these buttons that say Josh Macuga for Jeopardy, right? And so Jimmy McGuire, who's on the Clue Crew, is from Pittsburgh. He's-
Jerry Maguire?
Jimmy McGuire.
I know.
but
Just kidding.
he had me at hello.
Okay, got it.
And he had a
Show
Steelers
me the money.
lanyard, and I was like, "You from Pittsburgh?" He's like, "We started talking." He's like, "What are these buttons?" I told him what they were.
Yeah.
He gave them to all the producers and the writers. And middle of the show, when Alex, like in between rounds, he interviews people in the audience, or he takes questions from the audience. And he's like, "All right, so I usually take questions, but there's somebody here that really wants my job when I retire. Would that person stand up?" And I stood
Someone
up.
that really wants my job when I retire.
Yeah, and so I stood up, and he showed the button. And he started talking about it. He asked me, he's like, "Do you have any broadcast experience?" I told him all, and he's like, "Wow, all right, well, good luck then." And everybody was like, "Yeah."
Were they filming that part?
No, I don't have the footage.
Damn,
no.
so there's no archival footage of
No,
that?
just in my brain.
Josh,
And-
I'm gonna manifest this for you.
Thank you.
You're gonna guest host Jeopardy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can't wait. So excited.
Thank you all for joining us. Naz, you're amazing. You're welcome back here anytime.
Anytime.
Thanks,
Anytime.
guys.
We'll
Thanks
get a
for
Josh Brady on
having
the books
me.
maybe in August or something. They're on Friday afternoons, so that might be easier for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
If you're not
I would love
crushing it at a Dodger game. We didn't even talk about Dodger games and ball gowns. We'll get to
I
it
know.
next time.
Oh no, we didn't talk about Dodger games and ball gowns. That's so nice for me. It's nice to talk about other things in life. You
See?
know,
Boom.
I actually don't love talking about myself, unless it's on my podcast
Right.
called the
exactly.
I Don't Get It podcast.
Oh, I was gonna
Download,
say,
subscribe.
I was gonna call it like the Jesus of Nazareth podcast. Where we
That's good too.
The second coming of Jesus.
Oh, thank you all for joining us. We'll be back here tomorrow. Sinead DeFries will be here tomorrow.
Oh my God!
She's here every Thursday. And Friday, Mark Ellis will be here. Two people that you know.
Wow! Oh my
and love.
God! Shout out to Sinead and Mark.
They're the best. We're going to talk a little bit about Loki tomorrow since I'll be caught up. We watched Black Widow. which
Season
I
2
enjoyed.
was just announced
Oh, was it for
of
Loki?
Loki.
Oh, good.
There you guys go. Little
I'm-
inside.
I'm more than low key excited about it.
I'm more than
Naz.
Loki excited about it. I love Tom so much, and I love Loki
He's
so
great.
much.
We're going to be back today. I think we're going to go live today at 3.
Yeah,
if
stand by,
everybody's okay.
people. 3.
3 o'clock. We're going to do a little dartboard of destiny. We're going to pick the next horror movie that you guys are going to make me watch.
Such a hazard.
Little
I
tease.
don't know why you had that in here.
Well, now you're jinxing us because as soon as you say hazard. I one time wore a hockey helmet in front of a dartboard and had my friends throw darts at me. Alcohol is a strong drug, Naz.
I just think to have needles in the vicinity of like where people are drinking is really stupid.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
That's just me though.
Thank you all. Again, remember, positivity is an active choice. You choose it every day.
Yes.
Call somebody, text them, tell them you love them. It matters. It's way easier to love than hate. Find the good. See you tomorrow.
Bye.